Alright guys, today I feel like I'm going to bring something a little bit different to my channel and do a quick review of some older audio gear and electronics gear in general that I picked up at a reasonably bargain price that you can still find on your local Craigslist or Kijiji if you're in Canada like me, and you can get these at very reasonable prices. These here are going to be the subject of our first review, and these are Monitor Audio Limited Monitor Audio 7 bookshelf speakers. These speakers in particular came out in about 1990, I think ran to the mid-90s, and retailed originally, I think they were about a $600 set of speakers, and by the end of their run they were down to about $400 per pair. And you can still pick these up. I think a lot of people bought them for home theater use and the likes of that. As you can see, or probably not see, Monitor Audio 7's. They say it up there, but camera doesn't want you to see it, so you're not going to see it. And these speakers are actually a small bookshelf speaker. I mean, they're not your average bookshelf speaker of today's size. They're only about a foot tall by about half a foot wide and square, of course. And these have a huge bit of punch for something their size. I was kind of blown away by them. I've never had even older, higher end bookshelf speakers before that I've liked. I've always been more of a larger style of speaker kind of guy, but these really did blow me away. They come with a 5-inch, I believe. No, that's probably a 4-inch actually, woofer. And one of these dome tweeters, which actually is something different for me too, but I like it. They do come with a grill, although as I've heard in reviews from 10-15 years ago when they were new, the grills completely kill the tweeter. Like, huge amounts of the highs on these speakers get knocked out by these grills. I'll show them to you in a minute. And it really does change the sound, which surprised me a huge amount when I first got them. And to be honest, they look awesome, these speakers, with no grills at all. They're real high quality. I mean, this is plastic around the tweeter, but it feels of quality. This here is all metal. Foam surrounds. These ones happen to have never been attacked by the foam rot, or maybe they've been refoamed because you can see a line of glue. I'm thinking they may have been refoamed at some point in their life. But these particular pairs are pretty good, pretty decent nick. Of course, this one has a little bit where the finish has worn away at a seam. That's another interesting point. Instead of your generic finish of a fake vinyl wood print that they put on these kind of class of speakers, this is heavy duty MDF. I mean, this thing weighs 20 pounds, and the finish is actually black lacquer. It's just lacquered. It's really nice. It's got a nice shine to it, and it looks a lot more quality than your average vinyl stick-on wood print, which I really like about these actually. And we're back now. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my battery running out on my camera, I believe these came in 2 separate models. There was the Monitor Audio 7's, which are what these are, and then there was the Monitor Audio 7 Gold, which had a gold writing on the tweeter. I think the dome inside was gold instead of silver, and basically it had a better tweeter in it. Or a different tweeter, I should say. Possibly not better, but different. I've never heard those, but from what I can say about these, I think these are an awesome set of speakers. I'll be upfront with it. I paid $15 for these at I think a flea market, and mine came with a broken driver in this speaker, and the reason it was dead was because of the wire that goes in between the terminal on the side of the speaker and the voice coil. I was luckily able to resolder that and fix it. Unfortunately, I did rip out the dust cap in the process and had to glue it back in, and it doesn't look exactly professional, but it works, and it works good. Now here are the grills that I was previously talking about. They're quite nice, actually. The material on them feels better than the material on most grills, but it's a bit thicker, which I think might lend itself to killing the highs on the tweeter. The grill itself is made out of a chunk of half-inch MDF and nice plastic clips on it that push into these holes. Nice, no Velcro in this thing. Overall, I'm just feeling quality on these speakers. When I opened it up, the crossover is a bit more complex than what you see in something like a JVC or Sony speaker. And in a minute I'll actually pull one of these drivers out and show you what's inside. So the last thing to do with these, or to show with these all in one piece, is actually going to be the listening space. Myself personally, I don't have them in a great listening environment, especially for the kind of speakers they are. This is about where I sit. It's further back than it looks to the camera, but I'm honestly 5 feet away because this is only a bedroom, and they're sitting on something good quality. This is an inch and a bit worth of solid press board, so this thing weighs a couple £100. It's good for that, but these speakers are rear ported speakers, and this makes a big difference to the sound quality of speakers. These are meant to be a couple feet out from a wall on a stand above the ground facing the wall, and in this case they just aren't. I don't have space for that in this room, so it's going to change my opinion of them a bit compared to what yours might be in proper conditions. And of course, it's shooting right into a corner and a glass fire pit. So it's a bit different. It kind of puts some weird curves on bass at sometimes, but that's not going to change my opinion of the speakers at all, because I can think of what they can do, and I can definitely hear what they're capable of. It just throws a few little nasty tones and reflections off that and puts a really weird thing where all the sound sounds like it's coming out of this corner, even though I have two speakers there. And these actually are surprisingly huge amount of air they put out. This is like a fan in your room if you play something with a bit of bass, like some Smashing Pumpkins or something. These can really take it. Oh, and moving on to their limitations on power, these handle this 100 watt per channel Fisher receiver, and that's the limit. I mean, it's really pushing it. I've never had this quite full volume. I keep it like one tick on the screen below full volume because I think they couldn't take full. So I think these are rated about in between 80 and 100 watts, even though I can't find that information online or anywhere on the speaker. 8 ohms, of course, and I'll show you in a minute. Nice banana plugs that I don't even have banana plugs on because that receiver doesn't have banana plugs, so I don't feel like spending $10 on a set of banana plugs for one side of the wiring. So we'll pull one of these drivers out and just compare it to a Sony driver out of a similar Sony bookshelf speaker, much lower end of course, and then we'll do a little listen test, even though you won't be able to hear much, and that should be it. So I'll be back to you once I have one of these pulled apart. Okay, so here we are with it pulled, or at least the driver pulled out of it. I'm not going to pull the tweeter out. There's nothing to see on that. It's just a box. All the goodies are in the front. And once again, just reeking of quality, if that's the word you want to use. Even what holds the drivers in, they're nice. Well, they're more of a bolt type than a screw, but obviously a screw head. They have an actual nice steel nut glued into the back of the MDF. Nice, thick, heavy stuff. They even painted the inside of this thing. That's how far they went with quality on these. Which really astounds me that nobody really, these aren't a large known brand. There's the crossover. Not much to see. Looks like one electrolytic, 2 coils, and a big resistor. It's actually a pretty simple crossover. I thought it was more complicated when I looked at it last, but that was almost a year ago. Here's the wires for the speaker. Nice push-on connectors, thick. And finally, the good bit. Here is a driver. They got this cool, looks like a Kevlar or woven material cone. In reality, it's just cardboard with a fancy finish put on it. I'm sure it has some reason other than just to make it look cool, or it might just be made to look cool. And here is the back of the speaker. Take from that what you will. I'm not sure what it... Well, made in the UK. That's cool. Not China. 8 ohm. And push-on connectors. They mark it with a very small bit of red ink that I couldn't even see before. And this feels sturdy. I mean, this is pretty big. I have big hands. And it's big, the magnet on this. And for purposes of comparison, just carefully set that down without wrecking the surrounds. I have a lousy Sony speaker. There you go. That I pulled out of a similar set of, well, similar as in the similar size and style, two-way bookshelf speakers, but of course they were a $40, $50 set of speakers versus a close to $600 set of speakers. But of course, let's look at the quality difference. These have the same size drivers in them, but look at the difference in magnets. I think they're rated for the same power-ish too. Actually, no, that's 40 watts. I lied. But just look at the quality difference. This doesn't even have pull-off connectors. Just crap quality. I just glued it into the crap press board, not even MDF. And in this case, we have a nice paper gasket. You can just, well, you can see the difference. And this is what's in your generic speaker. Even those, they look nice, but they're pretty chintzies. Overall, I give this high ratings on quality, probably like a 9 or 10, 9-ish, because everything about it that I can see, including the banana plugs on the back, you can put a pair of pliers on them if you want to tighten them down. They're not going to give. They look to be silver too. They're kind of like a dull shininess. I think they're silver, plated at least. So overall, quality, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Of course, you can get a better sounding speaker, but probably not for a similar price to what you can pick these up for. So sound quality per price is awesome. I don't know if putting a magnet on a tweeter is a good idea. Overall, I really can't see any huge downfalls the speaker has except for its size. No matter what, if you're working with a 5-inch driver or 4-inch or something and a little tiny dome tweeter, I mean, it's the size of my thumb, you're not going to get the same kind of power as a big set of Cerwin Vegas or something. So if you're looking for really shaking your house power, not for you. If you're looking for nice, comfortable listening level speakers, I can't think of much better for the value you can get these. If you take $40 out of your pocket right now and go hunt around Craigslist, you will own a pair of these speakers in minty shape. I don't think they're particularly rare. And since they don't say Marantz on them and they don't say Yamaha, you can get them off people for a reasonable price. And I like that. Good quality and reasonable price. So we'll put them on a little bit of a listen, let you hear them, or maybe let you see the air they move with a piece of paper. That would be cool. And then you can decide for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Okay, so here's the final listening test. Now, no one actually really watches my videos. So hopefully YouTube won't copyright me out too bad for this. Wish me luck. And that's all you're getting, because I don't really want to play some horrendous copyright-free music. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed.